The letter A in father, market, and star. Even though A is pronounced in various ways depending on the word, in these three it has the same sound, ah. And this sound is written like this in Hangeul, the unique writing system of Korea. The biggest difference is that the Korean ah is pronounced slightly shorter than the English ah. There are also small differences in the position of the tongue and where the sound is made in the mouth. But since these don't usually affect communication, we won't go into detail here. The word aha is a great example to show how we can use Hangeul to write the sounds people make when speaking. We can hear two sounds. The first sound is ah, and the second sound that follows is ha. The first sound, ah, is written with the letter A. We can write this sound in Hangeul like this. In the second sound, ha, there's also an ah sound after the H, just like the first sound. So we can use the same Hangeul letter again. We can write the English H sound in Hangeul like this. The Korean H sound is a little stronger, but they're very close, so this letter works well. We'll go into more detail about Korean consonants in a separate video. There are some differences between how we write words or sentences in Hangeul and how we write them using the English alphabet. One key difference is that in English, letters are written in a row from left to right, but in Korean, letters are grouped into blocks, and each block represents one sound or syllable. Since aha has two sounds, we imagine two blocks in our mind. Then we place the letters that make up each sound into each block. Inside each block, the Hangeul letter for a vowel like ah is placed on the right side, and the letter for a consonant like H is placed on the left side. Because the letters that make up one sound need to stay together in one block, we write them close to each other like this. And the first sound in aha, ah, starts with a vowel, and there's no consonant like H in front of it. In Korean writing, when a syllable begins with only a vowel, we place a special letter in the consonant spot. It looks like the number 0. This shows that there's no consonant in that position. Even though this letter looks like the number 0, that's not where it came from. King Sejong, who created Hangeul, designed it based on the shape of the throat when we make sounds like ah or e, round and open. When we write Hangeul, we go from left to right, the same direction as in English. Thomas Edison, his last name, Edison. The first sound, A, is written like this in Hangeul. To write the first sound of his last name perfectly in Hangeul, we need to use this letter again. At the beginning of the word egg, we hear the A sound. We use the same Hangeul letter to write it. Shall we try reading these words together with Hangeul letter E? If you can do that, it means you've understood this Hangeul letter and its Korean sound really well. This time, try reading this Hangeul letter together with some English consonants. Can you read them? English speakers clearly pronounce the difference between words like bed and bad. That's why, when we write these in Hangeul, we use different letters for each one. These two Korean letters, they represent slightly different sounds. However, many native Korean speakers today don't make a strong distinction between the two sounds. There's a Hangeul letter that looks a lot like the English letter I. This one. It also sounds kind of similar. Just like the I in leave, this letter is pronounced as E. The difference is, this Korean letter always has just one sound. So, if you want to write the I sound in live using Hangeul, you'll need two letters, A and the E. That's because Korean doesn't have a single letter that makes the I sound like in English. Take your time. Just like before, Try reading these English words with the E. This time, try reading English consonants together with the Hangeul E. There's another example where we need two Korean letters to show the sound of just one English letter, and that's the letter O. Even among Koreans, simple English words are often used in daily life. For example, words like go and no are commonly heard in Korea.
But when Koreans say go, no,
The pronunciation might sound a little different to native English speakers.
When you pronounce the English letter O, the sound changes slightly from the beginning to the end. That's because O is a combination of two sounds set in sequence.
But in Korean, this kind of sound doesn't exist. We do have a similar sound, though it's the Korean O, which is written like this. However, this Korean sound is not a combination of two sounds. It's a single, pure sound. When Koreans say this letter, they only pronounce the first part of the English O, not the final U part that comes after. O. O. In Hangeul, vowels like A, E, and E have a taller vertical shape, so the consonant is written on the left side of the vowel. But for vowels like O, which are wider horizontally, the consonant goes on top of the vowel.
O, O.
When writing these syllables, we still start with the consonant first, then write the vowel below it. The U sound you hear in words like wood or food, and the sound of the letter U in words like June or blue, is written like this in Korean. But in Korean, the sound U is pronounced a little shorter than the English version. U. U. Look and repeat after me. Ah. 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 E. 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 O. 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 U. 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 If you'd like more practice, download the worksheet from the description below.